What's going on, everybody? It's on a Sunday afternoon. Take a little drive. Got some things I wanted to share. Just wanted to share my experiences with the multifamily industry. You know, kind of give you a little bit of background of where I'm from and where I started at. I started with a small company, owner-operator. The company's still in business today, and they're still doing great, doing successful. Started as a service technician with the company at the time. Basically just running service tickets every day. That was my day-to-day activities, doing grounds, whatever needs to be done. If we had any kind of notices or anything, pool, it didn't matter, whatever it was. And this was the very first job that I ever took in property management. And it really opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I do and what I've done and where my career has taken me and where I've grown. So when I started with this company, again, I was a technician. And the service manager I had at the time wasn't a really good lead by example type of person. Always showed up late, never was on time, left early, or he would leave and go to one of the sister properties, and he would go hang out with his buddies, and he thought everything was short of everything, thought everything was a joke. He just blew a lot of stuff off. So it really opened my eyes up, not only in property management, but when I became a leader. So long story short, he wasn't a very good example. Didn't want to teach, didn't want to train, didn't want to show anything, just didn't care. He just didn't care at all. So there was a lot of stuff that I had to figure out. There was a lot of stuff that I knew. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. There's a lot of stuff that I had to figure out. So, and I did. And I did it with a smile on my face. So he ended up doing something that was against company policy. And he ended up getting terminated from the company. And I found myself sitting in the office with the regional manager, and I put myself out there and I asked to take that position on as the maintenance supervisor for that property. And I felt real confident at that time that I could be very successful at doing it. I was pretty much running the property by myself to a point. And the company was a little skeptical at first. They didn't want to hire. They didn't want to put me in that position just quite yet. They were a little nervous to put me in that position, and I understand. I get it. I was a new guy. They didn't know too much about me, and at the same time, I didn't know a whole lot about them either, and that's okay. But I still put myself out there, and I made a deal with the regional manager at the time. And I told her, I said, keep me at a tech pay, but let me take the reins, let me take the responsibility that a manager or a supervisor would do. I set a goal. This is important, guys. No matter what you are in your career, whether you're a technician, whether you're a groundskeeper, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are. Set goals for yourself. And push and drive yourself to achieve those goals. I set a goal for 1 month. I told the regional manager, give me 1 month to prove to you that I can run this property successfully, if not better. And if I can't, then we'll move on. We can hire either within or we can hire outside the company. That would be her choice on doing so. And I would stay as a technician. 2 weeks into my position, I was able to not only get the promotion, as maintenance manager and supervisor of that property, I also managed to save that company and one property $60,000 a year. That's a lot of money. $60,000 a year. Now, I didn't do that within my first year there. I started the savings program in about 6 months. That first year, I was able to bring back about $17,000 to the property. That following year, January alone, we doubled everything from the previous year. I did everything on spreadsheets, had everything graphed out, had the technician, mine and my technician's time in on everything that we did, what time it took us to do it, everything. It had everything right there. And it taught me a lot. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. And I continued to grow from there. That company ended up selling the property out, ended up taking a position. That was on my first lease up. Was able to do my first lease up. And that opened my eyes up to a lot of new things. That first lease up turned into another lease up. That lease up turned into another lease up. I've done 3 lease ups in my career, and I'm very proud of every lease up that I was able to start and finish. Walked away from each property with my head held high. No regrets, no disappointments. Made a huge impact at each property. What I'm trying to get at is, don't forget where you come from. And this goes for anybody. Don't forget where you come from. Remember where you started from. Carry that with you. Every tough time, every tough week, any tough days, any tough months, doesn't matter. Any days that you've ever had hard, wrap those experiences and take them, hold them, be proud of them, take pride in it. Is property management easy? Not for everybody, and it's not for everybody. Just like careers today, trades today, not even outside of property management. It's not for, there's certain jobs not for people. And people will find that out, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, I've got a good buddy of mine that does stuff on YouTube, and he's got a vlog, and he shares a lot of good knowledge, and he shared some really good insight and some good depth on where property management is going and how companies are killing the trade. And I couldn't agree more. Now, I agree with him. It's not all companies, but there are a lot of companies, some companies out there that are really killing the trade and squeezing it for every nickel and dime that they can. And you're losing good quality workers to other trades, because those other trades are paying what guys want, what they've earned, the knowledge that they've gained, the experiences they've taken. You know, we got multiple tasks. Service managers and community managers, all my community managers out there, this is a shout out to you too. Y'all have a lot on your plates, just like the service manager does. You got some people that'll look at you and say, "Oh, they ain't doing a whole lot. They're just sitting in the office." No, we're not just sitting in the office. I can rest assure you that we're doing a lot behind the scenes that you don't know. Setting up vendors, setting up budgets, maintaining vendors, making sure vendors is doing what they need to do, making sure that we're keeping budgets on target, and we're not blowing budgets, making sure that parts are being ordered, making sure that we inventory, making sure the technicians have what they need when they need it. There's a lot that goes on. And there's some companies out there, we've got surveys. There's other things that we have to constantly keep a watch on. Other matrix. I couldn't tell you, there's been plenty of times where I stayed busy all day long. I'd leave work, I'd take my laptop home with me, and I still had to do my managerial stuff at home, because sometimes I didn't have time to do it, depending on certain types of emergencies, or if you had a guy that was out that day, if you had a guy that was sick, or if you had two of your technicians or a couple of your technicians on emergencies and another emergency come up. That's a team effort. We all work together. That's another thing I want to share too, is teamwork. Working together. You know, we spend more time sometimes with our work family than we do our own families. And it's important that we can work together, we can communicate together, we can grow together. Just don't forget where you come from. Be very humble and blessed where you got your start from, and then where your future has gone and where it has taken you. I've seen a lot of successful people in this industry, and I think that is wonderful. I've trained a lot of successful people in this industry. I've taken porters and trained them into successful technicians. I've taken technicians and trained them into successful service managers, and they're still in this industry today, and they're killing it. Killing it. Couldn't be ever more proud of them. Don't be afraid to fail either. Some of my best success has come from my biggest failures. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. A lot of the biggest success stories that I've ever had in my career and continue to have in my career have come from my biggest mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you're not learning. Remember that. We all make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. It happens. We're human beings. We're not perfect. This industry is going to continue to evolve, and it's going to change. Technology is going to continue to evolve and change, and we got to keep up with that. So we got to constantly keep spinning that wheel of knowledge. We constantly got to keep spinning that wheel of wanting to learn. And the people who are determined to continue to learn and learn and learn and learn, those are the ones that are going to turn into leaders, and they're going to be great leaders. And they're going to train other leaders. And those leaders are going to train other leaders. Again, I'm gonna quote my buddy Vance here. Lex here. I'm going to quote him, and you know, what is it going to take when you wake up and you realize that your property is being held together by super glue and duct tape? Leaders train leaders. That is true. Very, very true. I'm very proud of the career that I've had in property management. I've taken a lot of pride, and I will continue to take pride in what I've done in property management and the impacts that I've made on property management. And I will have and hold those memories forever. Hold on to those experiences and carry those experiences with me to the next chapter of my career. And in the end of the story, like I said, don't forget where you come from. And don't forget the people who helped you get there, who saw something inside of you that maybe you didn't see in yourself. I definitely want to say a huge shout out to my buddy Michael Mancuso. He follows me on Facebook. Me and him has been really good friends. He's the one that really saw the potential in me when I first started in property management. He saw what I can and can't do. He saw that I was a great leader, and he pushed for me to get that manager's role and that supervisor's role, and I'll take that with me forever. So Michael, if you listen to this video, I definitely want to shout you out. Michael's a great guy. He works for B&G Staffing. I know Robert, he's a good guy, also there with B&G Staffing in Huntersville, North Carolina. I know most of you know Betsy Kilpatrick. She's a great lady, good resource as well. Go see those guys. New guys out there trying to get into property management, go talk to B&G Staffing. You'll get your foot in the door. And it might change your life forever. It might be the best thing that you ever did. So with that being said, I'm going to cut this short because I know I'm getting a little bit long, and I could sit here and I could vlog all night about this. But don't forget where you come from. Stay true to yourself. Don't take positions unless you feel like you've earned those positions. I can sit here and honestly say that I will not take a position, or I will turn down a position if I feel that I'm not the right candidate for that position. I will apply for those positions, but if I feel like that personally I didn't earn that position, I don't think it's fair to the guy who earned it. You give credit when credit's due. Respect each and every one of your teammates. That goes a long way. Everybody can learn something from everybody. And with that being said, as it's starting to get dark, I'm going to lose some lighting here. But I wish everybody a happy Sunday, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.